Right. The chemicals in my videos are dangerous and could cause serious harm if not used correctly. My videos are not tutorials, alright? Please do not repeat the technique shown. Thank you and enjoy.
Hey YouTube, and in this video we're going to be experimenting a new way of incinerating IC chips. So these have already been pyrolyzed. Now they've got to be incinerated. So what I'm going to do is throw these in the fire as they are. And then they should, all the bond wires and metal components should drop down into here. And then I can, when everything cools down, collect what's in here, process it like you would do with IC chips, which would be sieve and pan, and we should have the gold bond wires at the end. So stay tuned for this experiment. Put some mud on here now. Let that cook. So it's the next morning, everything's cooled down. It's time to remove the IC chips. Zoom in for you. The IC chips have actually, well, most of them have stayed on the top and they haven't passed through into the ash pan. But looking at the colour of them, they've still been incinerated completely. They are white in colour. So, looking good. So we've got this steel container. Put them straight into there. Nice. Anything which falls onto the hearth, I'll just sweep them up into there anyway. So nothing's getting wasted. So that's cleaned out. Icy chips in there. Let's try and move that. So you want to take the ash pan out now. So there is a mixture of icy chips and wood ash in there. That can all get collected. Put that back in there. Bit dusty. So this is the wood ash and icy chips incinerated. Pretty well done, I would say. The next step is to put in the cement mixer and tumble it. I forgot to say at the start of the video that I'm going to be processing roughly 5 kilos of material. So this is the ash after the cement mixer. I'm happy with that. So the next step is going to be sieving, and I'm going to first use a normal kitchen sieve, it's a standard sieve, to remove the metal components and also the silicone dyes. Here we go. That's some wood ash from the fire. Just easily pluck that away. Put that into a separate pan. We can go through that material then to see if it needs to be incinerated a second time. So that's complete. The first sieving. As you can see, the silicone dyes are whole. They haven't been smashed up at all. Because when I tumble the IC chips, I don't add any medium at all, so just the weight of the chips on their own, tumble them for a few hours, gets the job done. So like I said, the next step now is to sieve this through a finer mesh. Keep going. So just a closer look at this material that didn't go through the sieve. What I'm going to do is give this a wash in water just to see if there's any loose bond wires trapped, and then we'll discard this material. It's not worth me dissolving all this iron legs just to extract a trace amount of gold. It's not worth the amount of acid which is needed. So I've got a bucket of water, bit of washing up liquid, got a finer sieve this time. This was the first one I used. A lot finer mesh. Just plonk that in there like that. And start putting in the material. I'm not going to overfill it. Give that a shake. Just trying to agitate everything so that any gold bond wires will go through the sieve and settle at the bottom of the bucket, hopefully. But there shouldn't be too much material in here anyway. Well, gold, precious metals, that sort of thing. Then we just dump this material onto the plastic. So on to the next lot then. Just keep doing this, and then I'll show you what's left at the bottom. So that's complete. That's the water, and that's the material, which I'm now gonna throw away. But before I do that, let's have a closer look. Now let's pour this water off and see what we got in the bottom. Let's get this poured off then. There's a lot of iron legs which pass through the sieve. One or two silicon dyes as well. I'll put a bit of fresh water in there. Give it a shake. washing up liquid. 2 drops of that. See if I can make out any gold in there, is it? I'll get a magnet and I'm going to remove those iron legs. Right, so have a look what we got in this bucket, is it? Pour a bit off. Hardly anything, I can't really see anything at all, which is a good thing actually. It tells me all the gold's in the ash. Nothing. Nothing at all. I've had a close look and there is no gold in there whatsoever. So I can clean this out knowing that I'm not washing any gold away. So we're going to go on to the main product now, the ash, and we're going to put it through a finer sieve. So going back to this powder, first I'm going to transfer this into a different vessel because I want to sieve this powder back into the container it's already in. So I'm going to be putting that powder into here just for a minute. I'm not going to pour it in because it's going to release a lot of dust. I'll do it bit by bit. Just use this. There's still going to be dust, but not as much if I was just going to pour it straight in. So the last little bit I will pour in. That's that. So now that goes back into there, but I'm going to be doing that through this mesh. I'll do one of them. Don't want to overfill it. See how fast it goes through. Might be a bit stubborn. Not too bad actually. Not too bad at all. There's mostly iron legs, and there is the odd bit of ash which is too big to pass through. But yeah, I don't know what to do. Maybe I should, whatever doesn't go through this mesh, I might have to retumble it. Or if there's not a lot of material, I could put it in a glass jar and shake it up, see if that works. So this is the last bit. So out of all that ash, that's what didn't pass through that sieve. Not a lot of material really, so I can't really put that through the tumbler. I'll have to try and use a glass jar and shake it up. This is the nice fine powder ash. Yeah, so nice and fine. There's still a few metal legs which pass through that mesh. I could run a magnet through it. I might do that. Quickly run a magnet through it, and then this will be get sieved again through 100 mesh. Well, saying that, IC chips, I will always run through 100 mesh, but gold corner BGA chips I wouldn't, because the gold bond wires are a lot longer and they don't pass through 100 mesh. Well, not all of them anyway, and so it's not a good idea to use 100 mesh on that type of material. But with IC chips from RAM sticks, fine, because the bond wires are a lot smaller. Move that aside. See if this works. Seems to be working. I'll probably have to do that a few more times, but you get the idea. Awesome. These are the iron legs after shaking in a jar. There's no ash in there now, just the iron legs. Happy days. This is the ash, ready for the 100 mesh. So the same thing as before, I transferred the ash into here, and we're going to sieve it back into there, but this time we're using 100 mesh, the final mesh before going on to the wet separation, or gravity separation I should say. So let's see how this goes through. I'm expecting it to get clogged up because 100 mesh is really fine. Yeah, very slow. So it's really fine. Yeah, so I'm going to continue this now, and then I'll get back to you when this is all complete. It's going to take a while, but it is well worth it. So this is all the ash which passed through the 100 mesh, and this is what we left with which didn't pass through. So what I'm going to do is crush this by hand, this little bit. I'll give you an example how I do it. So basically put some in there and just crush it up like that. And then just keep doing this until it all passes through the 100 mesh. The sun is shining and we are complete. All this has been sieved. Now it's time for the gravity separation. So we're going to transfer a good amount of this material into there. And then we're going to use water And we're gonna let all the heavies settle out and pour off the light material. So stay tuned. Let's get this bucket filled up with water. That should be enough. Some washing up liquid. Now we're going to add some material. Because this material is so fine, it does take a while for it to get wet. So we will give it a good stir now, so I get most of this material in. I'm not going to record all this because it does take a while. I'm just showing the basics. Oh, one more will be enough. It's about half now. The most important part is to give it a good stir, get everything wet. I'm going to give that a good minute to settle out before pouring a little bit of the solution off. Add a bit more soap, just in case, just to make sure everything does settle out. So slowly does it now. Yeah, I should have a catch pan, but I've done this enough times now. I'm pretty confident I'm not pouring any gold off. Nice and slow. That should be enough for a minute. So fill up again. So I'm going to continue this, and I'll get back to you when the water's a lot clearer and see if we can make out any gold at the bottom. So I've tried to get a good visual on this gold, but I really can't due to the fact there's a lot of iron, fine iron sediment, which is trapping the gold. Terrible, terrible. So what I'm going to have to do is just go straight to the blue bowl after I've done all the gravity separation with the rest of the powder. I'll get back to you when the blue bowl is up and running, and hopefully we'll get a much better visual. So this is the final step before we move on to the chemicals. So I've got the blue bowl up and running. I haven't put any material in there just yet. So the trick is to slowly add the material, 1 spoonful at a time. Go slow with this. Turn the water speed up a little bit. So we should get a good separation because we screened it through 100 mesh. That should help. That material is so fine. I don't know if the camera picks it up that great. Can't quite see any gold at the minute. We'll give it some time. So the idea is to light the material will get carried in the water stream, and then it gets carried up the cone, and then finally tips over the edge and goes down. And I got a catch pan inside just in case any gold does go over the top. You're gonna inspect the tailings then at the end. So I'll get back to you when we actually start seeing some gold. So I've had this going for a few hours. This is what we're left with. There's your gold. Very nice. In the centre there, around the base of the cone, there's some more lighter material which I can suck up and discard that. That won't be gold. All the gold's on the outside. Looks quite a bit there, doesn't it? So we'll do a clean up now then, and then see how we go. So the trick is to manipulate the gold into one pile and then suck it up with this large turkey baster and put it into a beaker. So if I can get some good coverage on this. Simple as that, really. Let's change the camera to that. Just using my other phone as a torch. So a bit more fuel. See, here's still a bit of gold around here. Zoom out a bit more. Gotta be patient. I'm not gonna get every little last speck because I've got more material to put in here anyway, so just get the majority out and then go for another run of material. Lovely stuff. So I need 2 hands for this, so I'm going to have to put the torch away. This is the beaker. I know it doesn't look like gold, but trust me, it definitely is. So I'll continue the cleanup and then I'll get back to you when I'm added more material in the bowl for a second run. So that's everything from the first clean out. Not bad. So let's get some more material in the blue bowl. Have it turned down. Still got all this to do. We've got plenty of material. Try and spread it out evenly. So this is the basic idea of how the blue ball works. I'm going to get through this material and I'll get back to you when it's time for the chemicals. So here's what I've recovered out of the blue ball. This is everything. Get a torch on that just to show you. So there is a yellow colour to it. Also as well, I've got a magnet by here. Magnetic as well. So what I'm going to do, first chemical process is going to be AP, acid peroxide, to remove the iron. So here's the gold bond wires. After I've dissolved base metals in AP, looks a lot more golden now. So what I'm going to do is transfer this into a bigger beaker. Very heavy. Didn't want to leave the beaker. Yes. No gold in there now. Well happy. All in here. So let's dissolve this in aqua regia. This is the solution. All the gold has been dissolved. this is what we're left with. That sediment at the bottom is silica from the IC chips. So the next step is to filter. I'm not going to record it. I'll go straight to the filtered solution and ready for precipitation. Solution's been filtered. Nice and clear. Time for precipitation. I'm going to be using SMB. So here we go. I'm not expecting a lot of gold, so won't be adding too much SMB. Trying to get my arm in the way. One teaspoon. Two teaspoons. And that's it. I'm going to let it settle, wash the powder, dry the powder, and then we'll get a weight. So there's the gold, washed and dried. Doesn't look a lot, but we'll find out the facts. This is my collection of gold powder. It's reading at 80.7 grams. I don't know what the container weighs. Maybe 10 to 15 grams for the container. So I'll tear that. Here we go. Well, I'm not happy with that because a little bit of gold is stuck to the beaker. It's a shame. I'll just have to wipe that out later on. So that's reading 3.4 grams. Not too bad. Maybe just slightly below average for that material. I think there was 5 kilos of ram chips. So that concludes the video really. I just want to apologise for taking so long to upload another video. It's been a few months, I have been busy, but I'm hoping to get some more videos uploaded on a regular basis. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.